Hi, this is the Pauline Longshore.
A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching us. Thank you very much for joining us on this spectacular show. Well, I call it spectacular because I'm going to talk about an array of things that are affecting we Africans in the diaspora. There's one issue in particular that is causing a lot of chaos. There is crisis here in the United Kingdom. 30 students from Bowser State Scholarship are roaming about in the UK with no tuition, no allowances paid for 2 years for PhD students and 1 year for MSc students. There is a crisis that the world needs to know about. I have a clip I want to share with you from Channels TV. Let's see the clip.
Gain admission through scholarships as they go after their dream of a higher education. Stories of funding running dry are making the rounds, with some students claiming that they have been left homeless, unable to complete their education, and now face imminent deportation. Karen Chambers reports from the United Kingdom.
Meet Anna. She left her home in Bowser State to gain a master's degree at Middlesex University in the UK. But the dream turned sour when just 4 months before her studies would have been complete, she learned that the Bowser State Scholarship Board had not paid her £12,000 tuition fee, and there was nothing left to pay for her upkeep in the UK.
The response they keep giving is that government has not given them money. So what I'm waiting for now is for the Home Office to write to me and to school for me to know what next to do, because apparently if they once the school writes to the Home Office, it means they're telling the Home Office we're no longer sponsoring this girl.
Anna and some 30 Bowser students say that the sponsorship board have left their education in jeopardy, and for some, they now find themselves homeless abroad.
We've not been paid for years now. So that has really affected our studies because you can't study without money if you're thinking about tuition fee all the time. And then this tuition fee, it's not something you can afford.
It got to a point where we all got tired of relying on anyone back home and calling them. So we now said, okay, since the situation is getting so bad, we should actually do a protest.
The father of the states and the father of his children, we are stranded here.
To raise awareness, they took their fight to the Nigerian High Commission in London, protesting for some 7 hours that the sponsorship agency back home has been ignoring their letters and their calls.
We're suffering. We're almost at the verge of being deported. We're asking
the
our
embassy
state
did
government
write on their behalf. Anna says there's been no reply.
Some of us that are PhD students cannot graduate.
The issue is also affecting some Bowser students studying for PhDs. Some have not had a single payment since April 2014. There seems to be this increasing problem of Nigerian students placed abroad running out of funding and upkeep.
That was a clip from Channels TV about the state of Bowser State Scholarship students. Well, joining me on the panel is Anna Buseri, who is one of the students who is going through this traumatic event. I call it traumatic because they have actually protested at the Nigeria High Commission, but still there is no solution. So she's joined me on the show to try and find a solution, and also to appeal to the public for help. Anna, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
Well, we're just holding up there.
You're holding on. Mm. You're holding on. Now, the story is deep.
It is.
When we see it on Channels TV, it just looks like, students out at the Nigerian High Commission protesting for the sake of protesting. But it really is deep. 24 months PhD students haven't had tuitions, no allowances, MSc students the same, 1 year and no allowances again, no tuition. I mean, how are you guys expected to survive? Where do you live? How do you keep yourself?
Well, thank you. It's been really difficult, like you've just explained, and we've most of us actually squatting. Yeah, squatting, because some of us came to the school. We're actually living in the school, our school apartments and accommodations. But when the situation got so bad, we were actually asked to leave.
You were kicked out.
We were kicked out.
So let's start from the beginning. When you got the scholarship and you came to the United Kingdom, for instance, yourself, you came to Middlesex. Everything was paid for up to a certain month. Is that right?
No.
Nothing was paid for at all. So you checked yourself into the university and into the accommodation where nothing was paid for, or with a promise for it to be paid?
Yes. Well, before I left Nigeria, I was told that I should pay my visa fees, all the processing thing, and I should get to the UK, enroll, and send back my expenses with the proof of the expenses back home, and they would reimburse me. That was what I was told. So, which I did, and I came back, and I came to the UK, enrolled, and forwarded my expenses with the evidences, the receipts, and so on back, and no response.
To this day, no response.
Yes.
Now for viewers who are watching, who don't know about the BIOS State Scholarship students, which is about 30 of you, can you just tell them what this scholarship is about and how you get it and why you get it?
Well, the BIOS State Scholarship scheme is actually a scheme that helps the Bayelsa State indigents to further their education.
Right.
And it's been on since the creation of Bayelsa State, from DSP Alamesea, Timothy Silva, and so on, till this present administration, which is the Governor Dixon. Well, fortunately for me, I got my scholarship during his administration, and I was very glad because I thought I was coming to further my education.
Right.
Yes.
As you do.
But on getting here, the situation actually changed, because living in the UK here, it's not like back home where you've got people that can assist you and so on. You are all by yourself here. You have bills to pay. You have to pay your transportation. You have to feed, and you also have to study to make grades.
Right.
Which has been really difficult because of the scenario that I find myself.
Right, and you've been threatened with deportation as well. So, and you cannot go to university. You don't have a place to live, and all you're being told now is you're going to be deported. Yes,
with the new UK rules here, they say before you come into the UK as a student, a Tier 4 visa student, a university has to sponsor you. So my university is the one sponsoring me, sponsoring me in the UK here. So I've been deregistered because of not being able to pay my fees. Right. And the school has actually reported me to the Home Office, telling them that they're no longer sponsoring me.
Right.
So immediately they're no longer sponsoring me. That means that I actually have to go back home because there's nothing I'm doing here.
Right. And are you prepared to go back home without an education that you came here for?
I am not prepared to go back home. I've spent 1 year here, and I'll just go back home like, no, I am not prepared to go back home. I want to complete my education. So are other students in the scheme. We all want to complete our education. So we've been here for a very long time, and I think we deserve to actually complete our studies here.
I mean, the PhD students actually been here 24 months, right?
Yes.
With no tuition, no allowances.
Yes.
How have they survived for 2 years with nothing? How?
Well, some of the students actually get help back from home, and some actually are forced to pick up menial jobs, although the jobs are actually not, they don't pay enough to keep them on, because as a Tier 4 visa holder, you're limited to working 20 hours in a week, and because of that, it's been really tough, really tough. Some of them came here with their kids, and it's been really
Some of them have families.
Yeah, some of them have families here.
Right.
And it's been difficult. It hasn't been a joyful ride so far.
Now, if there's any sane leader watching at the moment, and indeed any person, because I always say that, we cannot just blame the government, because my sister might be part of the government, my brother, my mother, my father. So if there's anyone watching and listening to your story now, what would you tell them?
Well, I'm appealing that this situation be resolved. We've actually been in the UK here for too long not to go back with our certificates and not to round up our education. We're asking that the viewers out there, either the government or anyone that is kind enough to help us should actually come to our aid, because it's been really bad. It's been really bad.
And what has been the lowest for you guys? What's been the lowest?
Well, depression. Most of the health issues is we've gone through a lot of issues, because imagine you don't have a place to lay your head. You have to study. Most were told that we can't study.
You've come to study. You're told you can't study. You can't eat. You can't sleep.
You can't sleep. You know, the UK. It's not like the Nigerian weather. It's cold. You need to guide yourself, keep yourself warm, and so on. It's been hard. It's been really hard.
But members of the family back in Nigeria, have they encouraged you to go back, just to give up and go back?
Well, most of them have actually encouraged us to stay back,
to stay here.
Yes, and complete our studies. They've actually said we've been calling, and most of them have actually reached out to the government, and their appeal back to the government has not yielded anything fruitful. But they've told us to try and round up that they are hoping and praying that the government is going to come to our aid soon.
Okay, but why do you think the government is taking too long to come round and deal with this problem?
Well, I do not know, because I'm not in the government's shoes, but I think that for the government to actually make a provision, a scheme for students to go abroad or in the country to study, to further education, they should also have provided also another scheme or something, or a way of making payments. I do not know. I cannot for sure tell you that this is the reason.
Are there people who have successfully studied with this scheme without any problems?
Yes. During the Alamesi tenure, people who actually studied came to the UK, some outside, all over the world. They went back. During Timi Silva's tenure, they actually came and went back. And this issue right now, it's this present government that's giving us all the whole hookups that.
Now, I know that you guys protested at the Nigerian High Commission. What was the reception there from the commissioner? I mean, does he listen to your story and say, you know what, we need to do something about this urgently? These are my people.
Well, we actually didn't get to see the commissioner, because the commissioner did not come to address us.
But does he know about this?
Yes, he does know. But someone working under him actually came to address us, and he called the chair lady in Bayelsa State Government, and because he asked us to provide a number for him that he could speak to, which he did, and she confirmed to him that yes, that we're being owed, and I don't know the reason she gave to him anyways, but she said that she was trying to make sure things are okay with us, apparently. But since the protest, nothing has been done yet.
Now, out of all the 30 people, is there anyone that's willing to go back, just bundle their family and say, you know what, I'm going back, I've had enough?
Well, no one is willing to go back without rounding up their studies. I don't think you expect a PhD student who has put in 2 years into research to go back home without completing her studies or his studies. And so the MSc students, no one would want to go back after 1 year of hard work and go back home without a certificate or without rounding up it. And besides that, it's not like we've been here, we've been enjoying in the UK. We've gone through a lot of stress, emotionally, health-wise, financially, and everything. So I don't think anyone wants to leave without their certificates. We want the government to actually come and pay us our tuition fees and our allowances.
But in that case, do you think maybe you should ask the UK government to be a little bit more lenient with you and say, you know what, just pardon us, let us finish. You know, it wasn't our fault.
Well,
have you guys tried to go that way?
We actually haven't.
You haven't?
No, we haven't.
Do you think that is something that you guys should try, because you're members of the Commonwealth? You can try. If you've tried your government and nothing's happening, I think that you should approach the UK government.
Thank you
Don't
for that.
think?
We will.
We do have a caller, Daniel. Let's speak to Daniel. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Pauline, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Not bad. I was watching this program. I'm very interested in this program because I'm from Bayelsa as well.
Right.
And my family are here as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's very disgraceful what is happening to these people here. Mm-hmm. And Pauline, I want you to please, whatever you can do to help us on this situation, because it's very, very disgrace. It's a disgrace matter for us to have this kind of thing here. Mm-hmm. And then we have government who are doing the election in a few days' time, and they will be spending money on different things.
In Bayelsa?
Yes.
Elections in Bayelsa?
Yes.
And is this an agenda? Is this something they're talking about as well during the elections?
Yes.
That there are students in the UK who are stranded?
Pauline, let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. Like now, today, we just heard that somebody is actually trying to support the government. The new governor in Bayelsa State, and they are going to do a program, a 1-hour program today between 5 and 6.
Right.
Bed TV radio, TV. Mm-hmm. So now, before even that comes out, there's a lot of money that must have gone through, before the advertisement comes out. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying that whatever they are doing now, they are spending a lot of money because of this election coming. Mm-hmm. So they are not even remembering anybody like students over here. They're not remembering them at all. They're just doing whatever they want to do. And I like the question you asked that maybe we try Commonwealth. But on a good day, should we go that far before we get what we want? When is in a little way, it's our own rights. These children are suffering.
Yes.
And I don't think at the end of the day, it's justifiable for these people to be like this.
I know they are suffering, and some of them, as Anna said, some of them have families here with them, and that cannot be allowed to carry on. So if there is a solution, if the UK can step in, then why not?
Exactly, my sister. That's why I know when I was listening to that, I was very, very upset. And I know that there are other people who are upset. But as I said, we have to try all avenues to make sure that our voice is heard. And this is one of the avenues. That's why I'm happy that you came on this program to let these people know what is going on. It's very bad.
It is.
I said, the people that are doing the sponsorship for this program for the governor, maybe if they can hear this program, maybe they will help as well. To see that there are things going on that has to be done.
Yes.
You asked a question. You asked that lady, what's her name?
Anna.
You asked her a question. That will she want to go back after everything? She said, no, why would anybody waste 1 year or 2 years of their time here and then go back as a failure, especially in Africa? They will not even know that it is their fault. They will just say you are a failure. You know how it is in Africa.
Right.
So please, I'm begging you, whatever means you can, please try.
Right. But there might also be people, Africans, we have two sides. We know how to twist things. There might be people saying, why are these students waiting for the government to pay for them? Why don't they pay their own way? I mean, personally, I would argue you did not really beg for that opportunity. You asked for it, and then it was given to you, but the government hasn't, honored what they promised. Exactly. But as I say, some people might say, why are you relying on the government?
Well,
they will ask that.
They will, but the money involved here is really much. For PhD students, it's like 30,000, 40,000 pounds. That's not a sum converted to the naira that people can just raise without proper planning.
Exactly.
And same goes with the MSc students. It's about 12,000 pounds and above. My is 12,000 pounds actually. It's not something you can just get like that. You have to plan, work and plan. And we all know the economy of Nigeria, how it is. It's not blooming so much that you get finance and funds like that.
Daniel, I have to say thank you very much for that call. We do appreciate you. Thank you. Now, I also want to point out that people might also say, might think, okay, aren't there universities in Nigeria? Why didn't they stay in Nigeria? I know the government probably funding this scholarship so that you can finish here, get a good education, and go back and serve the country.
Exactly.
Is that right?
That's it. And they're actually students in Nigeria. They're actually students in the scheme back at home too. They're studying in the Nigerian universities.
Is that part of the deal? When you finish, you have to go back?
Yes, you have a 5-year contract. You have to work for the government for 5 years. Before
right. So really, they should really honor
before you can do anything with anything else, you have to work for the government.
So it's like you're paying
for 5 years.
back.
Exactly.
It's not really free then.
It's not free. So you have to work for 5 years. And besides, most of the studies, most of the degrees being earned here that from this scheme is degrees that we don't have back home. For example, I'm doing risk management.
Right.
There's no risk management back home that I'm aware of. No university offering that course. And besides, I believe one of the reasons why some of the scholars chose UK and other parts of the world, it's the academic structure that they have. You understand? In 3 years, you can round up a PhD. 4 years, you can round up and go back and work. It depends on how fast you're able to research. But back home, sometimes it takes more than 3-4 years. Sometimes it lingers up to 10 years. It depends on strike and so on. So I think that's one of the reasons why most scholars find it more accommodating studying abroad.
Now, as I say, if there's anyone from the government that's watching or indeed listening to Anna's voice, please do come forward and solve this massive problem. I mean, 30 people with their families in the United Kingdom with nowhere to sleep, nothing to eat, no tuition, no allowances. It's not allowed. It's a big injustice. We do have Uche from Ireland. Uche, hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, Pauline, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for calling us.
Good to see you.
Please share your view with us.
Okay, now I'm coming from a very different direction now. We all know that Nigeria is a disaster, right? So I'm not going to blame these people for asking for the state to come to their aid, but at the same time, nobody should bank their hope on Nigeria. These politicians are very, very, very selfish. They don't care about nobody. Even if they are listening to you now, nobody is, all they care about now is the election. Who is going to be on that seat? So my sister there, I'm going to advise you as I've been in Europe for more than 15 years myself. And you telling me that 1 year is too much. I'm going to tell you that it's not too much. I will come from my own direction to tell you that if there is something that you can start doing personally for yourself right now, my sister, do it. Because if you wait for these people, they may or may not come back to you. If you want to continue your education, look for other means. Look for Nigerians. The Nigerians are everywhere in the UK. Look for Nigerians. Go to meetings. Go to people from Bayelsa in UK. They have their meetings. They have their community. Go to them. Speak to them. Look for individuals. Don't bank your hope on your state government because they will disappoint you. Since you're here and you said you don't want to go back, that's fine. If you don't want to go back, then what you need to do is forget about you. Yeah, you can still call home and all that, but start looking for a way for yourself.
Yes.
Get a job, whatever kind of job it is. We've all been through this.
Yes.
I was here for 5 years with no paper, no nothing. But today I have my children, I have my citizenship and everything. It's a struggle. Europe is not like Africa. When you're in Africa, there are family, there are brothers, sisters, and all that. But here, you have to do it yourself. You have to be strong. You have to come out of whatever it is and face it. Yes. So if you have made up your mind that you don't want to go back home, then it's your fight. Don't bank your hope on these people because they will disappoint you. Nigeria is a disaster. Nobody cares, especially our politicians. They are wicked. They are greedy. They are selfish.
Right.
They bring you there, but they don't care. So stop banking your hope on them, or stop thinking that at some stage they will come to your aid. They won't. The High Commissioner in UK knows about it. They call them, blah, blah, blah. They are all the same.
Right.
That's Nigeria for you. So,
Uche, thank you very much for your contribution there. I like what you said. You know what? There's other ways find other avenues. As she said, she doesn't want to go home. And can I just point out, she did say she does not want to go home without completing her education. She wants to go home after completing, and that's why she's here. She also has to, meet the deal in the middle, because you're going to have to work for the government, for 5 years after completing. So thank you very much there. We do appreciate your call. There are organizations in the UK that might be able to support and hear you. And as I say, I think you might want to try some, the UK government or some UK organizations, or even CANUC, the Central Association for Nigerians in the UK. Yes. Yeah, go that way. You guys are not on your own. And you don't have to just go to Nigerians. You can come to us Kenyans as well. Anyone.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Africans, We are together in this. We are together. If there's any last thing that you want to tell the government or people that need to come and support you, please look at the camera and do tell them.
Well, I'm actually appealing to all viewers all over the world, whether by also state governments, Nigeria and the federal government, and other government and other associations, non-governmental associations. We're actually appealing that you all should come to our aid. It's been really difficult for us here going to school. We actually came to study. We wanted to get wanted to come out with good grades and so on, but unfortunately, it's been so bad that all our dreams are actually dying by the day, as the day goes. Besides, the deportation scheme, it's almost catching up on us. We actually appeal to the whole world that they should come to our aid in any way that they can. We are appealing seriously. Thank you.
Anna, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Not just to tell your story, but you've spoken on behalf of the other people that are being oppressed as well. And I hope something good comes out.
Thank you.
Indeed, I believe something good will come out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pauline.
Don't go away. When we do come back, we're going to be talking about, yes, Nollywood, the big one. Don't go.
It is a celebration of those who are doing wonderful things on the African continent and fully focused as well on the Nigerian sporting industry.
Those in diaspora have asked for this. We are